Down with the ship.
Master Jedi, I'm aware that my recent military record might raise some concerns. I want to reassure you that my squad fatality rates have not consistently been this high.
I suppose that's good to hear.
The first squad I commanded after making sergeant was sent to free POWs being held at a small Imperial outpost. Intel said the place would be lightly manned. Most of the Imperials wouldn't arrive for another 24 hours. Intel was wrong.
The outpost wasn't lightly manned, or the POWs weren't being held there?
The Imperials sent their reinforcements a day early. When my squad broke into the outpost, we were outnumbered 10-1. We were outmanned and outgunned, but we achieved our objective, freed all the POWs, and came out alive. My squad's casualty rate was 97.4%, but we had no fatalities.
It's impressive that anyone made it out of there with those odds.
They were good soldiers, far better than any of the others I've had under my command. Our mission was accomplished without permanent loss of Republic resources. That squad was effectively trained, and as a result, we achieved victory much more efficiently.
They must have been remarkable soldiers.
They are. Good soldiers are a resource. Yes, their loss damages the war effort, but they are meant to be used. Victory for the Republic is worth any cost. Master Jedi, our downtime has had a positive impact on my battle readiness. I believe I'm 14.2% more prepared for combat now.
What? What does that even mean?
It's a statistical analysis of, well, I won't bore you with the details. I've had a lot of time to think. I've forgotten what that was like.
Relax while you can, Sergeant. There's more fighting ahead.
I'm looking forward to it. I've been thinking about my original squad. I haven't seen any of them since we liberated that POW camp. They seem to be on active duty, but I can't find any mention of commendations or recognition. They should be decorated soldiers.
I'm sure you'll find something.
Carson, Nadja, Eckert, that whole squad has simply vanished.
They're probably just posted somewhere far from the fighting.
It seems like a terrible waste of skilled personnel. They'd be most valuable to the Republic deployed on the front. This just doesn't make sense to me. Finally tracked down my old squad mates, Master Jedi. Wishing I hadn't. General Garza recruited them into the Special Forces Black Ops program. But now, they're in a detention facility on Berun, convicted of war crimes.
War crimes are a serious charge. How did your old squad go from being heroes to convicted criminals?
Black Ops doesn't make heroes. It trains killers. If the right targets die, no one complains. They renamed my old squad the Surgeons, tasked them with destabilizing the Empire's command structure by removing its best leaders. But the Surgeons didn't just target Imperial commanders. They went after the officers' families. They wanted to send the enemy a message.
Killing women and children is never acceptable.
Good soldiers know what acceptable targets are. This wouldn't have happened on my watch. The detention center's warden says my old squad mates are serving life sentences. They're young. That's a lot of years to spend in cages. The next time I get nostalgic and curious, Master Jedi, give me a planet to invade.
What have you got for me? Only a few dozen senators have access to those accounts. One of them must be an Imperial spy. Until we find out who hired the bounty hunter and why, we can't be sure of anything. This casts a bad light on the entire Senate. Until we know who's responsible, I don't want this to leak out.
Old Doc's always been more of a lover than a fighter. But I had to up my game since you came around. It's not easy looking good when you're fighting next to a Jedi. But I figured out the trick.
I've never expected you to keep up with me, Doc. We all have our own strengths.
Keep up with you. I'm leading the way, my friend. Yep. Next time we're surrounded by the scum of the galaxy, they're gonna be sorry they met me. I don't believe this! We missed the party of the millennium last night. It's all over the holonet. Music, dancing, attractive people. We could have been a part of it if we hadn't been on the wrong side of the galaxy, saving everyone's lives as usual. 2 heroes of the Republic would have been colossal at that shindig. Infinite opportunities for romance. We would have had it made.
Just think how much more colossal we'll be at these parties once the Empire is defeated.
We've already earned more admirers than we'll ever have time for. Anything extra is just wasteful. I'm in the prime of my life, and I'm spending it with people who enjoy running around on exploding planets. All I want is to abuse our fame just for one night. Is that so wrong?
I do not know how more to prepare you to face the Emperor. What has your training been? All I know of Jedi ways is from Revan. Surely they have changed in 300 years.
How does someone become the Emperor's wrath?
There has only ever been one. My training as a Sith was not far different than Korriban today. Only my visions set me apart, made them bring me before the Emperor. In his presence, I first saw who he was and what he planned.
It must have taken great will to conceal such thoughts.
Showing anything but submission would have been my death. I alone could not defeat him, so I chose to wait for one who could. I thought Revan and the Jedi exile were my chance.
That was 300 years ago. Obviously, it didn't work out.
I hoped it would. I was their eyes and ears in the Sith Academy, their most trusted ally. I liked them. I would have served them, but my vision told me they would fail. I cut down the exile and brought Revan to the Emperor as a gift.
Is that what you're planning to do to me?
If you are not the one who will stop the Emperor's madness, then I will await the one who will. The only way to live long enough to find the Jedi who would kill the Emperor, to find you, was to convince him to trust me. He took my offering and gave me a place at his side. He gave me immortality. It was a gift, but not without its price.
So, when do I get my own Padawan? Always wanted to be a teacher.
Patience. You'll have your wish someday, and that student will be in excellent hands.
Be a shame not to share my wisdom. Been racking it up fast lately. Here, pretend you're my Padawan. Got a hypothetical moral dilemma for you. Say you could only save the Republic or the Jedi Order. Which would you choose and why? Don't think. Answer.
That's too big a question not to put a little thought into.
Bzz, too late. The Jedi Order and the Republic are both dead. Happy? Correct answer was Jedi Order, by the way. Without us around to protect it, the Republic can't survive.
Without a Republic to defend, would we still be Jedi? Or would we become something else?
Interesting point, Padawan. I'll answer your question later. This teaching thing's fun. Have to do it again sometime.
This is Station Korriban's flame to unidentified vessel. You have violated Imperial space. Submit your security clearance or be destroyed.
You said I could leave this to you. Go ahead.
Transmitting clearance code now.
Stand by while I... We're so pleased you're here, Grand Moff. You'll find our security airtight.
That is unlikely.
I've cleared a docking bay for you. Please proceed with your landing, sir.
For the moment, they believe I am Grand Moff Fresh. But this ruse will not hold. Prepare to kill everyone.
Haven't you noticed? I don't leave survivors.
Your most admirable quality. Don't waste any time. Destroy the enemy while we have the elements of surprise.
Right on time. You're practically a droid. I knew if I applied the right stimulus, you couldn't resist coming here.
Something's wrong with Leeha. She's not herself. She tricked me.
Jomar was chasing proof you'd fallen to the dark side. He fell into my trap like a greedy child. You were just as easy.
The Emperor is dominating your mind. Resist him.
Please, don't hurt her. She doesn't know what she's doing.
Poor boy. You think you love me, but what we shared in secret on Tython was only a shadow of true passion.
They indulged their base desires. Impressive.
I'll show you true ecstasy, Jomar. But first things first.
This is why the Jedi are forbidden to fall in love. Your emotions have unbalanced you.
You've been dead inside since you joined the Order. You should thank me for what's coming. You remember the meaties? I gave my little droid friends a few upgrades I think you'll enjoy. Briefly. Stop! 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 Where are we?
Leeha, it's me. You're going to be all right.
My poor droids. How did we get here?
You and the Emperor set this trap. Why?
I can feel the Emperor's presence. He hates you. The things he made me do.
Come home to Tython. Master Satil will help you. I have no right to ask you for anything, but the Council doesn't need to know about us. Please, keep our relationship to yourself.
It's not my job to expose your indiscretion.
Thank you. I'm sorry for all of this. I was wrong about you. My mission wasn't a total failure. I overheard Leeha delivering orders from the Emperor to a high-ranking Sith Lord. I couldn't hear details, but I know someone named Lord Fulminus went on a secret mission to the planet Voss.
Lord Fulminus? The Emperor isn't taking any chances with Voss.
I'll take Leeha home. Thank you for saving her. Us.
Welcome back, Master. If you detect the aroma of Alderaanian nectar, I program the air circulators to simulate it.
Master Satil, I rescued Jomar and found Leeha Nerez. She's been under the Emperor's control and needs your help. They're headed for Tython now. I also learned a high-ranking Sith named Fulminus is on the planet Voss.
That is disturbing news. Voss was discovered only recently. Its society is dangerously unbalanced. The people worship an elite group of Force users who rule with absolute authority. Despite our best efforts, Voss's government rejects the Jedi Code.
The Emperor has always taken a great interest in that world. I thought he sought to conquer it, but clearly he intends its destruction.
Go to Voss. Find Lord Fulminus and stop his plans.